Imagine you're climbing a ladder to success, money, fame, the dream life. You're told happiness is at the top. But what if you get there and it's empty? Naval Ravikant, the philosopher entrepreneur, dropped 44 truths in a podcast that'll make you rethink everything: happiness, suffering, fame, even parenting. Today, we're diving into the juiciest bits, unpacking what Naval really thinks and throwing in our take, because some of these ideas, they hit hard, but not all of them land perfectly. Stick around because by the end, you'll see one truth that might just change how you live. Let's jump in. Naval kicks off with a bombshell. Happiness isn't something you earn, it's something you already have buried under all your wants. He channels Socrates, who looked at a marketplace full of shiny stuff and said, "How many things I don't need?" That's happiness. Freedom from craving what the world sells you. Naval says success, on the other hand, comes from dissatisfaction. You're hungry, so you hustle. But here's the twist. He's not sure that trade-off is worth it anymore. Why climb the mountain if you're miserable the whole way up? He suggests two paths: chase what you want and get it, or want less and be free. Guess which one he leaned into early on? The hustle. But now he's rethinking it. This hits like a wake-up call. We're all programmed to think success equals happiness, but Naval's right. How many times have you hit a goal and still felt meh? I love his nod to wanting less. It's almost rebellious in a world obsessed with more. But here's the catch. Naval makes it sound like you can just flip a switch and stop wanting. For most of us, that's a journey, not a decision. It's not easy to unlearn years of chasing. Still, his point sticks. Happiness isn't out there. It's in here. Next, Naval tackles suffering. We're taught pain is progress. Grind now, win later. But he calls BS. Most suffering, he says, isn't noble. It's just you fighting the task at hand. It's mental, not mandatory. The real kicker? He says successful people often regret one thing: not enjoying the ride. They look back and realize the journey was the point, not the prize. Naval even suggests a mind trick. Think back 5, 10 years. What would you tell your past self? For him, it's simple. Chill out. The anger, the stress, totally optional. We romanticize struggle like it's a badge of honor, but Naval's onto something. Why make life harder than it needs to be? I've been there, stressing over deadlines that didn't matter a year later. His advice to reframe tasks as enjoyable? Game changer. But some suffering, like grief or failure, can't just be reframed away. Naval's a bit too optimistic there. Still, his vibe check on pointless pain is something we all need to hear. Ever feel like you're on a treadmill chasing the next big thing? Naval nails it. Boredom breeds desire. Desire breeds struggle. And even when you get what you want, you're back to square one, bored again. He calls it the desire cycle, and it's why money or success never quite fill the void. His fix? Be picky. Choose your desires like you're curating a playlist. Not every song makes the cut. Money's cool, he says. It solves money problems, but don't expect it to fix your soul. This is Naval at his best, cutting through the noise. I've caught myself in this loop, buying stuff or chasing goals just to feel something. His call to prune desires is liberating, like decluttering your mind. But completely escaping this cycle? Tough. Society's built to keep us wanting. Ads, influencers, you name it. Naval's advice assumes you've got the discipline to say no, and that's where I think he overlooks how hard rewiring can be. Still, it's a truth that stings in the best way. Fame sounds sexy, status, admiration, doors swinging open. But Naval says it's a trap. It costs you privacy, peace, and the freedom to be yourself. You're not living, you're performing, stuck in a spotlight you can't escape. He's clear. Fame's only worth it if it's earned through real impact, like a scientist or artist changing the world. Chasing it for likes or clout, that's a hollow game you'll regret. Naval's spitting facts here. Fame's allure is real. I mean, who doesn't want to be recognized? But he's right about the price. Look at any influencer meltdown. It's what happens when you're chained to an image. I respect his push for earned fame. It's why people like Einstein still matter. My only gripe? He downplays how even good fame can mess with your head. Impact or not, the spotlight warps you. Still, this one's a gut check for anyone dreaming of going viral. In a world obsessed with consistency, Naval's a rebel. He says changing your mind isn't hypocrisy, it's growth. Sticking to old beliefs just to save face, that's a lie you tell yourself. He shares a story about a content creator who quit because their public persona started eating their real self. Authenticity, Naval argues, is being who you are now, not who you were yesterday. Anything less, and you're trapped in a mirror maze of your own making. This one's fire. We're so scared of looking fake that we cling to outdated versions of ourselves. Naval's call to embrace change is freeing. I've ditched opinions I held 5 years ago, and it feels good. But being authentic online where everyone's watching, brutal. Naval's lucky he's got the clout to shrug off haters. For the rest of us, it's a tighter rope. Still, his vibe is clear. Stop performing, start living. Status is a cage fight. One winner, everyone else loses. Naval says it's a zero-sum trap, unlike wealth, which you can build and share without knocking anyone down. He points out the irony. Even billionaires chase status, think Hollywood or fancy galas, because it's wired into us from caveman days. His advice? Focus on creating, not comparing. Wealth gives you freedom. Status just gives you a leash. Naval's nailing human nature here. Scroll through Instagram, it's all status games, filters, and flexes. I love his push for wealth as a positive-sum game. It's why I'm grinding to build something real. But status isn't just caveman stuff. It's how you get respect, partners, opportunities. Naval's a bit utopian thinking you can fully opt out. Still, his focus on creation over competition, that's a mindset shift we need. Naval gets real about self-esteem. It's the foundation of everything. Without it, every challenge feels like a personal attack. His fix? Live by your own moral code. Do the right thing, even when it's hard. Help others, not for clout, but because it proves to yourself you're solid. Virtue, he says, isn't soft. It's how you build a spine of self-respect. This is deep. I've seen low self-esteem wreck people. Doubt creeps in, and nothing's ever enough. Naval's right. Living your values is like weightlifting for your soul. I've tried it. Small acts, like keeping promises to myself, stack up. But what if your moral code's shaky to start with? Naval assumes you've got a solid one, but that's not a given. Still, his point about earning your own respect, that's universal. Naval's a freedom junkie. No calendar, no random dinners, no shoulds. He says no to everything that doesn't spark joy because inspiration fades fast. Act now or lose it. It looks selfish, sure, but he argues it's the only way to create something real. Protect your time, and you protect your life. This one's bold. I've ditched a few obligations since hearing this, and wow, clarity. Naval's living like most of us dream, back untangled from expectations. But not everyone can ghost their inbox or skip every wedding. His freedom comes from success most don't have yet. Still, the core idea, guard your time like it's gold, that's a lesson I'm stealing. Work shouldn't feel like work. Naval's big idea? Find what feels like play to you but looks like hustle to others. That's your edge. Be authentic, say no early, and don't lock into a path just because it's shiny. Success, he says, is productizing who you are. Your quirks, your passions, your flow. This is my favorite. I've wasted time on smart career moves that felt like dragging bricks. Naval's play as work vibe is why I started this channel. It's fun and it clicks. But finding your play takes trial and error, and not everyone's got the runway to experiment. Naval glosses over that grind. Still, his call to be unapologetically you? That's the cheat code to standing out. Naval's a dad, and his parenting rule is one word: love. Unconditional love. No agendas, no molding kids into mini-maz. He trusts instincts over parenting books, which he calls out as overrated noise. Instead of rules, he sparks curiosity in his kids. His goal isn't to raise perfect children, but to raise independent thinkers who question everything. I love this. Parent books, total waste for me. Real connection, that's where growth happens. But what happens when kids rebel? Naval's approach assumes a lot of trust, and I wonder if there's a balancing act we're missing. Raising independent thinkers is amazing until they challenge the very system you believe in. Still, love wins. This resonates deeply. Naval Ravikant's 44 harsh truths aren't easy to digest, but they're real. Some hit too close to home, others sound like a far-off dream. But if you take just one of his truths and make it your own, that's a start. Which one will you adopt? Comment below with your favorite. Let's discuss.